Today, I will show you how to test an ASP.NET Core Web API on your own computer. This is an important step because it allows you to make sure everything is working properly before deploying your API to production. Let's go. I've already created a Web API project in Visual Studio. It's a backend for an e-commerce application. So far, there's only one controller, which is the products controller. It exposes endpoints for CRUD operations against products. The first tool we will use is Swagger. Swagger, which is also known as OpenAPI, is an open source framework that makes documenting and testing your API easy. When you create your project with Visual Studio, you have the option to add support for OpenAPI, which will automatically configure your project with Swagger. If you want to make sure that your project is set up correctly, open the program.cs file or startup.cs file for older version of the .NET Core. You should see the configuration of Swagger somewhere here and the configuration for Swagger UI somewhere here. And Swagger UI is only enabled if you are in development. So now let's run the project. Thanks to the support of OpenAPI, the start page is a user-friendly Swagger UI. This interface allows you to interact with your API. You can explore it by clicking on different endpoints. It will show you the parameters and the expected responses. Let's see how to make a request to the API. We are going to fetch all the products. So for that, I select the Get endpoints. There is a button here which says Try it out. If I click on this, so because there are no parameters for the Get method, I can just click on the Execute button. And if I execute it, you can see after loading time, in the response body part, you can see I have a list of my products. You can see the response code of the API call, which is 200, which indicate a success. Now let's make another request, which will add a new product. So for that, I'm going to select the post method here. And for the post request, I need to provide a payload. I'm going to copy paste a payload that I've already prepared, and I'm going to paste here. Now if I execute, so you can see that the response to the request here is 201, which indicated that a resource has been created. And if I go in the get method and execute it again, I can see the newly added resources. Basically, that's how you interact with your API using Swagger. Now let's add another tool to our toolbox. Postman is a separate application that you will need to download and install it on your computer. You can get it from the official website. I've already installed Postman on my computer. So now, with the API still running, I can open up Postman here. And to create requests, I need to click on the plus button here. And depending on the type of request you want to make, you can select the appropriate method in the drop-down menu here. So because we are going to fetch all the products, I'm going to select the get method. And I need the URL of the API. So for that, the first option, I can just go into the Swagger UI and I can just copy the first part of the URL. The route to the API also starts with /API. So I need to add that part. Now, if I want to make this request, once the request is set, you can send it by clicking on the send button here. So you can see in the bottom part, there is the response. I can see that the status is 200, which means that the request has been executed successfully. And I can see the result here. So this is my list of products. So now we are going to make another request, which will add a new product. So I'm going again to click on the plus button here. And this time I'm going to select a post method because I'm going to add a new resource. The URL is still the same. Now I need to send a payload. So for that, I go into the tab body here, and I select row, then JSON. So here I'm going just to paste a payload I've already prepared. And to send the request, I'm going to click on the send button. So in the response part, I can see that the request was successfully executed because the response type I get is 201, which means that the resource has been created on the server. Basically, that's how you use Postman. Both Postman and Swagger can be used for testing, but what makes them different from each other? Postman has a user interface that makes it easy for anyone to use, whether you're a developer or not. Plus, it has built-in support for testing automation. You can create and run automated test scripts with Postman Collection Runner. Swagger, on the other hand, is more focused on documentation and code generation, which make it easy to understand the structure and functionality of your API. This tutorial ends here. If you found it helpful, please give it a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe for more content like this. Thanks for watching. See you in the next tutorial.